Dark greetings, friends.
Dark greetings.
Been a hot minute.
It has 3 weeks ago, because we took 2 weeks off. 3 weeks ago would have been the last stream.
Which was not the initial plan, but life just worked out that way.
Yeah. Chaos. Life is chaos.
Sometimes it do just be like that.
Yeah. But
I rewatched the episodes today to prepare, and I am ready. So take
Excellent.
it away, Bestie.
Yes, I have. Before we actually get into the discussion part, I have prepared a thing for us.
What'd you tell?
To sort of like mark the importance of these kinds of streams. I spent more than an hour on this yesterday. Prepare yourself. Oh, don't loop.
How did you explain your process? That's incredible.
Yeah, I used AI song generators where you can put in your own lyrics, and I tried so many different websites, had so many different songs generated, and there was something wrong with most of them where it would like cut off weird, or they couldn't pronounce anime.
AI on this podcast.
Because initially I was like, oh, I can just record myself singing it poorly, but then I was like, no, this is an opportunity. And so it took me a long time to find one where I was like, that one works. But then, of course, they wanted you to pay to download it, so I had to figure out a way around that. It was a whole thing, but I uploaded it to our stream.
You know what? Steal from the machines.
Yeah. And I thought it was pretty funny. I was cracking myself up last night with some of those versions.
All right.
Yeah.
But with that just thing of beauty out of the way.
Oh, wait. 2 people have joined. Oh, I had to restart it. Okay.
That's pretty funny. I will say that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, yeah, the show. It's like, wait, what are we doing?
The thing we're here for. Ooh, let me...
Notes.
Move my microphone.
Notes. Episodes 16 through 18.
Yes. We'll just say right off the bat, poor Canute.
No, it's so sad.
He didn't deserve that.
I remember that being one of the things that we talked about on the last stream a bit, like how sad it was because Ragnar was like a father to him.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you have to open with him just looking so sad.
At his corpse.
Which, by the way, I hadn't watched these episodes until today.
Mm-hmm. Smart.
And so, it had been 3 weeks since I'd watched any. And for a split second, when it first opened with the 2 of them kind of like looking over Ragnar's body, I was like, who's the girl?
Whoopsies.
I was like, oh, wait, that's the prince. My bad.
Love him.
Yeah. There's a cat.
We've got Thorfinn as Canute's bodyguard now.
Yeah, which he was doing in the previous episodes a bit as well, where he was supposed to.
Yeah, but now he's like sole bodyguard.
Well, yeah, because Ragnar's gone. Who else is Canute going to hang out with that could actually... Well, I was going to say could actually protect him, but I don't know that Ragnar could have done that very well either.
I mean, who knows?
He had a sword.
He did have a sword.
So there's that, at least. By the way, with the introduction, the intro part of this, I don't know that I paid much attention before to like the map animations. Those are really freaking cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, they are cool.
To the point where I was like, is this the same intro? Did I just not pay attention before? Because I was so distraught that they took away our song.
I think they did. They definitely did change it up.
I know. So upsetting. that was my second note. I was like, this intro art is cool. Was this? I actually looked it up to make sure it wasn't a third intro.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering what Bjorn knows of what Askeladd is planning, because I think he might be kept in the dark to a degree.
Yeah.
A lesser degree than everybody else, but I wouldn't trust Askeladd to be telling anybody the whole story.
Yeah, no, I definitely think he has certain things that he keeps to himself that he doesn't tell anybody at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
And he makes another weird joke.
Which
I can't remember exactly what it is, but he does that thing again where he says, like, he, like, drops some bombshell. And it's like, just kidding. We're like, were you?
Oh, yeah, when they were walking and he was talking to Bjorn, and I can't remember what it was at the moment.
Yeah, but he said something weird.
What
he
a
was
weird
like,
joke.
Just kidding. I was like, are you sure about that?
It's not really a joke. It wasn't funny.
Yeah.
I remember having that
This
thought.
is another episode where we see that Askeladd really can be fucking merciless.
Yes, I have Askeladd is fucking brutal as a note.
Yikes.
Because it's like the guys are, horribly beating this English soldier, captain, I believe it was. And having too much fun with it, which is just upsetting. But
yeah,
the second Askeladd walks up and he's so calm, I was like, oh, he's about to do something terrible. And then he asked for shears, and
I was like, oh no.
But he did give a nice educational lesson. He was spitting some knowledge there.
Yeah, talking about my fucking people. Celts, baby.
Yeah, so I guess the moral of the story is, if you stole the land, it's fair game for us to steal it back. Not steal it back, but steal it again.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
We got the return of your boy.
You
got a fair amount of him these couple episodes. I hope you were enjoying yourself.
Yeah. Well, first of all, though, he wasn't as fun in these. He was scary in these episodes for the most part.
He was kind of scary, and we'll get to that.
He wasn't his fun-loving self so much, but I do love that anytime somebody hears the name Thorkel, they start to panic. Everyone's like, Thorkel, oh no, we're all gonna die. And I'm like,
I mean, he is fucking 7'7".
I know, but it's just
get it.
I don't know why I enjoy it.
Yeah, he is a fun guy. I will say though, I was surprised. Well, no, I'm not surprised because Ragnar isn't there to carry out any form of consequences. I was a little shocked when Askeladd straight up smacked Canute across the face.
Yeah, I mean, but there is nobody to stop him at that point, because I think the only person who would have intervened.
But God, I feel for Canute so much.
Yeah, I wrote smack that spoiled prince. Sometimes people need it,
On the one hand, yes, but I understand him having a little bit of a little mini crisis in the wake of his father figure getting killed.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he needed to get him out of there, or he was going to be killed. And it's like, dude, you need to sit your ass down. This is life or death here. That body is just matter now. That is not him. We need to get you out of here. And clearly, you're not listening to reason. So I think
like that we're seeing him kind of even though he is kind of being petulant, we're seeing Canute finding his voice.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I saw a note that we skipped over. One of my favorite tropes in anime is the thing where people are talking about another character and then you cut to that character sneezing. It is so common because when everybody's talking about
Thorkel,
when everybody's talking about Thorkel and he's coming, they cut to him sneezing while he's standing there.
I don't think I've watched enough anime to notice that on a regular basis.
Yeah, I have seen it in so many. I've seen it in One Piece a few times already. I've seen it in Fairy Tail. It's been in nearly every anime series that I've watched.
Okay.
And it's just one of those running things where, I don't know, at first I thought, okay, this is kind of strange. And now every time it happens, I just find it hilarious. I don't know why. that I just wanted to point out. That's a common trope, apparently.
All right, well there you go. I gotta say, Thorkel though, he really can be just as brutal as Askeladd, like killing the deserters who were gonna come join his side.
Yeah. Which, I mean, they are pretty similar in the sense that they're both pretty good-natured, but brutal.
Yeah, in like a weird way.
Because I feel like Askeladd is pretty even-keeled, like calm most of the time, rational.
Yeah.
And Thorkel is generally pretty much a jolly idiot, which is fantastic.
Love him.
But then, yeah.
Wish that were me.
Yeah. To be a jolly idiot.
I wish I've said this on Regrettable Reviews. We had a whole conversation about this. I wish I was hot and dumb.
Yeah. Although
I wish I was a stupid New York 10.
I'm sure they have their own set of problems, though. Everybody does relative to...
I mean, they do, but can you fucking imagine? I feel like that's gotta be life on easy mode, though. Like, not that there are no problems in easy mode.
Yeah.
Just less. Like, a lot less, probably.
Yeah. To be somebody who is less likely to reflect on bigger questions and think about the future. And
sometimes I think it would be really nice. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Thorkel being just as brutal as Askeladd, but also, again, just as chill in a weird sort of way.
Yeah. Yeah, they both have that quality to them where it's just like, whatever. Very desensitized.
Yeah. And then as this episode progresses, we're getting more dissent among the troops, with the pirates.
Yes, whispers of mutiny.
Which, like, I kind of get it because Askeladd does seem to be fumbling a decent amount within the past couple episodes in like ways that he hasn't before.
He does, but I also think part of it is because he has ulterior motives that they don't understand. And his choices
also very true.
His choices perhaps more align with those ulterior motives than the ones that he has explicitly stated to them. Mm-hmm. So it looks like he's messing up, but it's like, well, no, I'm trying to fulfill this other thing without you knowing about it. And so the choices look weird or bad, but it's to further this cause.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But because there's dissent among the troops, they get Thorkel and all Team Thorkel, I'm going to call it. They catch up with the pirates while they're arguing. And I got to say, 4 men with 1 spear, holy shit.
Yeah, I have a note on that too. He took out 4 dudes with 1 spear. But I also really love, and I didn't put a note, so I don't remember if it's at this moment or slightly later, but like how upset he gets that they started fighting without him.
I know, that's the only thing he cares about.
Oh no, that is in the next episode. I do have a note on it. But yeah, he's just like so upset, and he's like, how dare they? Do they have no decency?
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic.
So I guess that brings us to episode 17.
So I did want to point out one other thing.
Unless we missed something.
Yeah. I blanked on his name again. The priest guy. Some L's in it. Yeah, that I was like, I knew it had 2 L's in the middle somewhere. It must be very difficult to be an alcoholic in those conditions.
Yeah, really. He's useless, by the way. We'll get to that more, but...
Yeah, he serves no purpose. But, like, he runs out of wine, was what it looked like he was drinking from the barrel, and then asks for more, and it's like, Jesus, they can only have the stuff that they are carting, or like, literally carting around on a cart. It's in these big, heavy wooden barrels. Like, in these times and places, you can just hit the corner store and grab a bunch and then drive it to your home, and it's so easy. But like, man, it was work to be an alcoholic. If you were
just work to do like anything, probably.
I know, but like, man, what a burden. You would think it would be, you would just not do that if you, because you'd be going through withdrawal a lot.
My first note for episode 17 is how's he going to get out of this one, referring to Askeladd, because we left off
Yeah.
with him in big
The
trouble once
mutiny!
again.
Yeah.
But I think like even by the end of episode 18, we really don't have any sort of answer to that because he doesn't really wriggle his way out of this one.
I mean, we'll get to that. I have thoughts on the matter.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
But also we get a little flashback of baby Askeladd, who is apparently waiting for the return of King Arthur. Which cool.
I did not realize that was him until later on when he's like having the flashbacks and you see it like you know cut together. And I was like, oh, that's who that was. Yeah. So when they're all surrounding Askeladd and you know it's like, oh, what's going to happen? And he admits that he despises them.
Yeah, he came clean about that. I was surprised, to say the least.
Which I thought that was going to be a big reveal where he was like, he admits that he's a spy, like he had said in an earlier episode. Mm-hmm. I thought that was going to be the big thing. I was like, oh, wait, this is like confirmation that he truly is, you know, a spy who is embedded with the Danes.
I mean, I will say I would definitely take this as something close to confirmation regardless.
Yeah, I thought it was going to go further than him saying that he despised them, but it could also just be his pride trying to throw a wrench in the... yeah, let's just...
Very possible.
If I infuriate them, it might throw them off balance or something.
Yeah, and I have written down there's no way Askeladd survived this, and again, by the end of episode 18, he is still alive, but man, things did sure look bleak.
Yeah.
But then we've got Bjorn, Thorfinn, and the priest off with the prince.
Yeah, which it's kind of funny that Askeladd just immediately assumes that Thorfinn is with him because he's like, Thorfinn! It's like, the guy that wants to kill you?
I gotta say, I think he trusts Thorfinn a lot more than he is ever willing to admit, even to himself.
Yeah, I mean, I think what he trusts is Thorfinn's desire to kill him in a duel.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and he's not gonna do anything outside of that.
Yeah, and he's gonna do anything he can to stay with Askeladd and keep Askeladd alive so that they can have that duel where he kills him. So it's like, all right, he wants me to do this. I'm gonna go along with it because then I get to stay with him.
I hope we get to see that. If we don't, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Yeah, I feel like it never works out that way. When there's something that's like a goal from the beginning, it never seems to work that way because everybody grows and changes.
Ugh. Sometimes it's not what I want.
Yeah. Got a lot of story left, so I'm sure there'll be growth.
Oh, indeed. Rip to that horse.
My very next note says, how dare he hurt the horsey?
My note says, not the horsey. Same brain.
It feels like I do struggle much more with cruelty to animals than cruelty to people, which is maybe not good,
I wonder why that is.
I think it's because animals are just, they seem more innocent, like they don't have an understanding of why that's happening. They had nothing to, like, they didn't choose to be in that situation, right? But yeah, no, it's so upsetting to me. And this isn't the only horse that gets hurt in these episodes too.
Yeah, there's the next episode as well. But we get Berserker Bjorn again.
Yeah, Berserker Mushroom was my next note.
And I also love Thorfinn going back to make sure that he's the one to kill Askeladd, because he thinks, oh, if Askeladd's gonna die, it has to be in my hand.
Yeah, which I'm starting to have difficulty picking out whether he truly is doing all this because he wants to be the one to kill him, or if he actually has started to develop like a feeling toward him. You know, like, because they've been together for 12 years at this point.
Yeah, it has been a hot minute.
It's the closest thing he's had to a father figure in those 12 years, right? Like, he's learned a lot from him.
That's fucked up. A lot to unpack there, but you're also, like, correct.
Right? And so it's like, I think he might not even know which it is at this point. Is it truly because he wants to keep him alive so he can kill him, or is it because he's kind of developed affection for him, or some weird fucked up
Yeah.
combination of the two?
I'm gonna guess combination, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, Askeladd, if nothing else, he is a good negotiator. He makes a solid point that if the prince and everybody did escape the men that they sent after them, then they're probably gonna need Askeladd alive to try and find them.
Yeah. No, I mean he is a smart guy. He's like, clearly I'm not getting out of this with physical force. So
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, he also is ridiculously strong. The fact that he lasts as long as he does against as many people as he does.
yeah, I meant to look up how old he is actually, because he keeps referring to like his age and getting older.
I feel like he's probably got to be like late 40s.
Yeah, I was thinking 40s as well, but I wanted to verify the delicate dance of looking at his Vinland Saga wiki page
Without major spoilers.
scrolling very slowly. Gender, age. So I guess 44 is the right one.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. About what I assumed. Okay, just wanted to verify that. Oh, I closed my notes.
But then while Askeladd is trying to negotiate for his life, Team Thorkel finally crosses the river and is here to fuck shit up.
I freaking love him.
He is a lot of fun.
And like then all these guys are like, oh yes, he's not gonna hurt us. We were gonna hand the prince over to him, so of course he's gonna like, you know.
This man lives for a fight. What are you talking about?
But also like I don't claim to understand like the Viking code of honor, but
yeah, I mean neither do I.
But like why would they think he would accept mutineers like as part of his crew? Like, oh, people that attacked their leader before, yeah, join me. I'll be your leader. What on earth did they think was going to happen?
Although I am kind of wondering if they think he might be cool with like people who with turncoats essentially is because he chose to side with the English just out of boredom.
I mean, he did, but that doesn't make him immune from hypocrisy. You can be a turncoat, but that doesn't mean you want turncoats underneath you.
This is very true.
Yeah, I can betray people, but I don't want people that could betray me.
Point taken. Point taken. And this was another thing that was interesting to me. Again, just like the relationship between Askeladd and Thorfinn is a complex, fucked up one. Because he's defending Thorfinn's honor regarding the mutiny to Thorkel.
Yeah.
Which, like, you can't tell me that you don't, like, care in a weird way. Like, I almost don't want him to. I want him to just get picked off by Thorfinn because I think it's what he deserves. But you definitely care a little bit. At least a little bit.
I mean, we've talked before about how he is a very complex character.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think there's a lot about him and his backstory that we don't understand yet that might be important context for judging him as a person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I direct quoted what Thorkel says to the one guy who's trying to be like, oh, we'll give you the prince. We'll like go to all the trouble for you. He just goes, no, that's fine. I was like, huh?
Again, he's just like so chill about things. Like, yeah, whatever.
He's so very chill about everything. And also him stretching before he started dueling Thorfinn, that got me real good.
He's so cute.
Why? Listen, if he's a warrior murderer, why is he so baby girl?
So true. By the way, when he challenged the lead mutineer, Torgrim, right? Where he's like, oh, I think I went too hard on him because he just like his brain fried. And he had no expression. It was like, I was expecting him to piss himself. Like I was really shocked that was not what they were showing. And like it shouldn't be that it shouldn't be funny to see a person who's so afraid their brain ceases to function, and yet
Just a little baby bit sometimes. It's anime. It's fine.
yeah.
I love how excited Thorkel is to see Thorfinn again.
Their relationship is kind of cute.
In a weird way, yeah.
Just because Thorkel, I feel like he really likes Thorfinn, and he gets excited to see him and like wants to fight with him because I'm gonna call that Thorkel's love language.
Yeah, is battle. Yeah. We've invented a 6th love language. All the other ones, and now just well, actually, no. If we're doing that, then we have to invent a 7th, which is just biting.
Okay. Sure.
Because that's mine.
Okay, we could just categorize that under touch.
Oh, I guess so. But ask Kyle. I fucking chew on him all the time.
But battle is a whole separate thing.
Yeah, battle is definitely its own separate thing. That man just punched a horse and won.
Yeah, and I feel like, again, I don't understand the Viking code of honor, but I feel like going after a horse.
I feel like that's not cool.
Yeah, it would be like a low move, like dishonorable. Like you fight the man, you don't fight a defenseless animal.
Well, because Bjorn even tells him not to go for the horses.
Well, I think he told him not to go for the horses because he didn't want the cart to flip over.
I mean, that too, but he was like, no, you have to fight. I just said I would fight you. Leave my horses alone.
I saw it as like a panic moment because he's like, oh, I know exactly what's going to happen if he gets one of those horses. And that's why he was like, brace yourselves, everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that would be considered a low move, but I don't know. I guess not.
So this just reminded me of when we were recording last night. When I was putting my plushies on my bed this morning, I was thinking of the places everyone comment that Chris made.
You're going to be doing that like every night and every morning now. Every time you do it, you're going to be like, places everyone.
Thank you. Anyway, but yeah, it's duel time. We got Thorfinn versus Thorkel again.
Yeah, maybe he'll take some more fingers.
Well, and I mean, that does bring us to the next episode.
Yep.
Where Thorfinn continues to be fast as fuck, boy.
He is so fast, and their size difference is comical.
Extremely. He holds his own, though.
Yeah, because he's 17 at this point, I believe. Mm-hmm. And he seems like he's small for 17, too.
I think so, yeah.
And then Thorkel is a giant. And so it's really interesting because, unfortunately, being that big also often means you're like slower and, have joint problems and all those kinds of things. Yeah. So in a lot of ways, it's an advantage in some situations, but a disadvantage when you're fighting a feisty little guy.
Mm-hmm. And then, we learned that apparently Helga is nobility, Thorfinn's mom.
Yeah.
Which kind of surprising, but all right.
Yeah.
Interesting to see all the time. why that's relevant. So I'm sure it will be in some way.
It does kind of make sense a little bit if you think about the flashback to when Ylva was born from earlier in the series, because that was like a nice place, and she seemed fancy, like at that point. She did seem
kind of fancy.
Mm-hmm. It tracks.
It does track. But then we cut back over to Pretty Boy Canute. I like that they just they took the time to draw him like that with his hair like splayed out all perfectly.
He's a lady, and it's so pretty.
Love him.
Pretty lady anime boys.
Love them. But man, Ragnar really was his father, and it's just really sad.
Yeah, I know it's not real, but at the same time, it's nice that they got to say goodbye.
Yeah, it's something.
Yeah, I mean, because I feel like it probably would have gone that way. Mm-hmm. If they had that opportunity. And I think Canute knows that, and so at least he's going to get the comfort in a way from that.
Yeah.
Ragnar doesn't need the comfort because he's gone, but at least Canute gets something out of it, and that's nice.
his comment about how he didn't ask to like be born with royal blood, I was like, yeah,
Mhm.
he really didn't ask for any of this.
Yeah.
I feel for him. I do.
Yeah, no, that must suck. I would never want to be royalty.
Oh no, not even
Oh,
a little bit.
ugh. So much structure and like all the requirements and response. No, thank you. No, thank you.
And then as the scene continues, I like that there's this quiet philosophical conversation happening between Canute and Willibald while Bjorn just rips people to shreds. We got kind of philosophy heavy in the last part, in like the second half of this episode.
Yeah, and it keeps coming back to that theme of love, and that seems to be Willibald's like only function in this whole series thus far.
Is to just steer it back to philosophy occasionally.
Yeah, he drinks a lot and then talks about love. Like that's
the whole
character.
I mean, I think it's definitely an interesting facet to add to the story.
Yeah,
or I think it is.
It is. I wholeheartedly disagree with him. Referring to
what his point about death being the ultimate form of love. I thought that was a little like, I don't agree either.
That doesn't make any sense. It's like love means a certain thing. You're thinking of a different thing that has a different name. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't either, but I definitely don't agree with him either.
But like he referring to like the relationship between Canute and Ragnar as discrimination.
That was very strange.
I mean, to an extent, in the sense that for the people you love, you would treat them better. Maybe the people you don't know, going out of your way to do things for them, but like, that's not all it is.
No, yeah, it's so much more than that. So like, I did think he was making a very strange point that I was not vibing with.
And I was like, am I just not smart enough to get this? Or maybe it's something to do with translation as well?
That also could be part of it. I like that I wrote down, please just let Thorfinn kill Askeladd, which we don't get in this episode. Who knows if it's coming?
Yeah, no.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna make the bold claim that Willibald is definitely wrong. Ragnar 100% loved Canute.
Oh, for sure.
So jot that down.
It's like he's trying to redefine an existing term, and you can't just decide it means something else.
Yes, that's exactly what he was trying to do, and that's why it felt so fucking weird.
Yeah, it's like you realize those particular sounds, like love or whatever the sounds are in Japanese or any other language, like
they mean a specific thing.
But they're symbolic. Like they're not tied to any specific thing. The only reason we have language is because we decided this combination of squiggles on paper, this sound means this thing. You can't just by yourself decide, no, it means this other thing. That's not how language works.
Yeah.
Language only works if everybody agrees that something stands for something else.
And I don't know if this is like philosophy, like put some philosophical concept that's also over my head. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, so it's like maybe I just don't get it. Maybe he did, because Canute like agrees with him, and he's like, "I see," and I'm like, "What, you do?"
Yeah, I'm like, are you sure about that?
Are you just pretending because you don't look dumb?
I guess connecting like, because they've made a big deal out of Canute's Christianity thus far. I guess like there is the intersection of love and death with like, you know, Jesus dying on the cross.
Yeah.
That whole type of thing.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's something.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the ultimate expression of love, but I don't necessarily see that as death so much as sacrifice. That like sacrificing yourself.
That's like that's more. I agree. It's more sacrifice than just death.
Yeah. I still don't get it. Oh, hey,
Cinema!
Yeah, we're back.
What's good? We're talking about episodes 16 through 18 of Vinland Saga.
Yep.
We're towards the end of episode 18 right now, getting a little philosophical with it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we are we're back to stay now. We had to take a couple weeks off because I had to get a foot surgery. Super fun. So, but
She's good now.
back to it. I mean, I still am on crutches, but at least, I'm not as drugged as I was.
That could be more or less fun depending on your perspective.
Yeah. I was just sleeping way too much.
Understandable.
Anyway.
But
oh yeah, the philosophy. That's what
and then
oh, thank you.
And then when we kind of go back to like the actual like concrete events that are happening, one, of course, Bjorn tore everybody to shreds, not fucking surprising in the slightest.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I really love watching Canute kind of coming into his own. I think losing faith as character development is such an interesting arc, and I'm so here for it. He's really becoming a favorite character of mine.
Interesting.
I don't know. I like watching him grow.
I cannot say I have warmed up to him in the same way that you have, but I do like that he's finding some guts. That he seems to be less of a coward than he was before.
I mean, yeah, he's definitely still like,
sort of
still a baby, but
yeah.
He's trying, and I really appreciate that. He's trying his best.
I suppose I just have a type when it comes to anime, and that type is Thorkel.
Fair enough.
He's big and loud and dumb and
and highly entertaining.
Yep, that's my favorite type of character. Which, by the way, when he is telling Thorfinn about like his mother being nobility and all that, and he's like, "Do you want to know more?" And I was immediately like,
"As long as you entertain me,
I would like to hear more. Tell us more. You seem to know a lot of shit." And then he doesn't tell us anymore.
That's another thing. Like, where'd you get all this information, bud?
Yeah,
I'd love to know.
It seems like they're like torturing us a little bit. Like, here's a tiny little nugget of information. Like every time you get together,
us crumbs.
And I feel like he has to be entertaining him pretty well because how many cuts does Thorkel have on him?
Quite
within
this fight, and also he shreds his jacket.
Yeah, which he liked that coat, which is sad. I really did. Kind of feel for him. I imagine it's hard to get a good coat like that.
I also imagine it's fucking freezing.
Yeah. Although I feel like he doesn't care all that much.
No.
But he does sort of end up launching Thorfinn.
Yeah, which, yikes.
And I think Askeladd seems like really distraught when he thinks
that... How do we think this is going to shake out? Do we have any kind of predictions?
Yeah, I mean, because he's like, oh, that I'm out of options, saying it like, oh, I only care because now he can't help me. And it's like, I don't think that's why.
I think you're lying to yourself a little bit there, bud.
That expression on your face indicates that like you are upset because you think he could have been killed.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, obviously, Thorfinn's going to be fine.
Yeah.
He's got to, survive and come back and all that. But it's actually really hard to imagine, like, the next thing that happens.
I know. The show, I will say, it does keep surprising me. Just because there's so many moving parts, I guess you could say. Because the show is, like, there is a history lesson in here somewhere. A rather complicated one at that.
Yeah, it was kind of nice in these few episodes that we pretty much stayed on the same storyline instead of jumping around between different like groups and
that
stuff.
Was nice. But I'm wondering when we're going to get back to Thorfinn's village and Leaf and all the other... Because like there's still some threads that we haven't circled back to in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if you could hear Nyx just meowing very loudly.
Oh, no, I didn't pick her up that time.
It was startling. Yeah, but I mean, Askeladd seems like he's going to be fine because,
yeah, probably.
He and Thorkel are of a similar mind. Like you can tell when Thorkel like kind of leans down and they're talking. He's like, so you're Askeladd. And I think he sees sort of a kindred. Yeah,
that he respects him.
Yeah, he sees sort of like a kindred spirit in him. Like, yes, we are the same kind of people who, are fearless and value battle and the code and all those things. So I don't think, especially because Askeladd's wounded, I don't think that Thorkel would do anything to him.
Yeah, probably not. So I'm just wondering, like, if Askeladd is going to, like, be like, hey, you should take me as a hostage, or like, what's everyone's next move? Honestly, is he going to be like, oh, you should take me as a hostage because this and this? Is Thorfinn going to insist on, like, on having to finish the job, either finish the duel that he started with Thorkel, or if he does finish that, whatever that looks like? I don't think he's going to kill Thorkel because that just would seem like sloppy writing, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if he does best him in a duel somehow, breaks his weapon, injures him, whatever, is he going to insist on finishing Askeladd off right then and there while he is wounded? Because I don't know, it's a possibility.
I don't think Askeladd's going to need to request to be a hostage. I think Thorkel sees him in a similar way to how he sees Thorfinn, of like sort of like a playmate in a way, I guess. Like, again, this person that gets me, that would battle. He's in bad shape right now because he's got like how many arrows in him, which, by the way, a little bit poetic considering that's how Thor's.
Yeah, considering that's how he killed Thor's.
Yeah. So he sees him as potentially like a worthy adversary. So I think he's going to take him hostage, and with the idea that as he gets better, like, this is a person who I can potentially battle with, maybe even a potential ally, depending on, the context.
Yeah, we are getting towards the end of the first season.
Yeah. I think they are essentially going to leave Thorfinn for dead there because they assume he's probably dead, but then he's going to be fine and he's going to like catch up to them and try to secretly do something. I don't know. But he's not going to want to fight Askeladd anytime soon because, again, he wants to beat him in a duel where they're both.
Yeah, it's not going to be fair.
Yeah, like he wouldn't kill him in his sleep before. He's not going to like do anything now to hurt him. And if anything, he would try to like rescue him and try to get him healthy again so that he can actually duel him.
Ooh, exciting.
Ooh. Looking forward to it.
But I am also kind of wondering what Canute's plan is, because he says he's going to go back.
Yeah.
Like, what's the move there, buddy? Yeah. Especially with all this newfound confidence of his, which, again, love it.
Yeah, he does seem like a different person, and it seems to have been spurred by losing Ragnar.
Yeah.
And not just losing Ragnar, but the few things that come after his dream, saying goodbye, and then all the perplexing things that Willibald says that somehow he agrees with and
agrees with, but also doesn't.
Yeah, but it like changes the way he sees everything, because he says something like a fog is lifted, or
yeah,
like all of a sudden he is a different person because Willibald said these things. Which don't make sense.
Sure, why not? It's anime.
Yeah, so it's he's hard to predict at this point, I guess, is the because he has changed so much.
Did we skip over any of your notes? Because I do believe we got to all of mine.
Nope, I made sure we got them before we went to the next episode on each of them. So
hell yes. So I guess that brings this little chunk of episodes to its conclusion. Do we have anything else to say? What? Hold on.
Okay, I just had to do it one more time.
Let's see. Do we have anything to promote? Do we have anything coming up? We got Defen on Friday. I don't know what the movie is, but there will be Defenestration Hour tomorrow. So if you want to see people talking about corny action movies, head back on over to the Fighting with Friends Twitch channel, or the not Fighting with Friends, Jesus Christ, Bridget, Big Dumb Monsters Network Twitch channel, and Big Dumb Monsters Network YouTube channel. I'm getting myself confused because we currently are fighting with friends on the Big Dumb Monsters Twitch and YouTube channels.
Yes.
Got there in the end.
Yeah.
Gonna ask, where do you guys have your reactions? Yeah, so we're here on YouTube on the Big Dumb Monsters Network channel. We go out on our own Twitch channel, which is just Fighting with Friends, and we also go out on the Big Dumb Monsters Network Twitch channel as well. So you can find us in 3 whole places.
Yes. I'm not sure if that's what they meant by reactions. Confused by the term, but
a little, yeah. I also have all my reactions written down.
Okay. just mentioning in case there was further information needed.
But I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Regularly scheduled programming.
Yes.
For the time being.
For the time being, he's one of our biggest fans. Yeah, and I will continue to crutch my way around, but I can at least still.
Oh, those little covers are kind of fun.
Yeah, I looked and because I wanted to put pads on it, and I looked until I found ones that I liked that were pretty.
Aw. Well, gotta make it fun somehow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back again next week for episodes 19 through 21. There we go.
Yes. Yep.
I can do math. I can count. Awesome.
Yeah, thanks. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll see you next week.
Should be a good time. Yes, tune back in. We will see you then. Adios, everybody.
Bye.